Do's and don'ts. So the first rule of logbook entries is to make an entry. An inspector told me if we're going to do maintenance, then we're going to have to make an entry. And what we have here is sort of, okay, we're going to make an entry, but why? All right, we have rules for maintainers, that's part 43, and then we have rules for the owner operators and their responsibilities, that's part 91, right? And those two are two sides of the same coin that provide a checks and balances in aviation, right? So how does it work? And we thought we'd sort of outline here 43 versus 91 and what we see as kind of a mirror image in many ways. So 43.5, an entry is you're gonna do maintenance, you're gonna make an entry. Entry is required for return to service, and we're gonna execute the form for major alteration and repair, 337. Okay, what's gonna go in the entry? 43.9. That's how we're gonna do non-inspection entries. 43.11, how we do inspection entries. 43.13, how we do maintenance, performance. So we're going to use a maintenance manual. We're going to reference the ICA. We're going to use the tools and the test apparatus to do our job. 43.15, how we do inspections. We're going to reference a checklist. We're going to do the scope of Appendix D. We're going to do engine checks. We're going to make sure we cover all airworthiness items, including ADs. All of that's on the left. This is how we do maintenance, right? Part 43. On the 91 side, it really goes back to the responsibilities. 1.403, owners responsible for maintenance and keeping the aircraft in airworthy condition. Great. 91.405, the owner's responsible for the maintenance person making an entry. Great. 91.407, the entry's going to be as per 43.9 or 43.11. Fantastic. And then there's a little bit extra with 91.417. These are the entry requirements that go beyond the inspection entry where it's only aircraft total time. There's a few other things that are added here. We are going to not only have the entry requirements, but we're going to include total times for the engine alongside the airframe. We're going to track life limited parts. We're going to track time since overhauled. We're going to track inspection status. We're going to track ADs and their compliance, and we're going to fill out the forms as per 43.9, right? So all of this is, again, goes back to responsibility and accountability with making entries when we do maintenance. So rule number one, if we're going to do maintenance, we're going to have to make an entry. I like to bring it back to the airworthiness certificate where it says in box 6, unless sooner surrendered, suspended, revoked, or a termination date is otherwise established by the FAA, this airworthiness certificate is effective as long as maintenance, preventive maintenance, and alterations are performed per the applicable federal aviation regulations. Great. So that says that certificate is only valid if we're doing the maintenance and preventive maintenance and alterations as per the FARs, which we just looked at right here. So if we're doing maintenance and we're skimping and we're not following the rules, is this airworthiness certificate even valid? That's kind of a big question here. The other is, if you did maintenance, can you prove it? Can you stand behind it? So if the aircraft's airworthiness cannot be proved, it becomes useless as a flying machine. We're going to do maintenance, we're going to make an entry, we're going to prove it. Some folks at this point would say, hey, listen, pal, you haven't been out there unscheduled maintenance, AOG in the middle of nowhere. How am I going to make an entry? That's okay. That's fine. I like what Phenom does. Phenom sends 3. They give one to the owner, they send one in the mail, and they give one for the logbook. So they try to cover all the bases. And really it goes back to just try to be thorough and try to do the best that you can, right?